my list was always, CDs for this artist and cassettes for this artist.
I want to create solutions which help people.
Be this person I want to be in the future, I have to follow this path.
Seeing their lifestyle, the type of lifestyle that I want.
Africa's blank canvas. Paint your dreams.
Hi, Tatenda. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Can you please just tell the listeners about yourself?
So I'm Tatenda. I'm the head or the main developer for Beatbarrow, born and bred Zimbabwe. Came to the UK in 2002, I think.
How's the UK treating you?
Alright. So obviously you get to learn a lot of skills, to obviously experience a lot of different things that I wouldn't have done otherwise. It's been good. My family, some of my family is there anyway. Some is back in there, obviously. But it's been good, it's treating me well. Obviously work here, my work is here, so yeah, it's been good. You can't come.
That's very interesting. Can you just tell us your background, your upcoming from Zimbabwe all the way maybe to your current position as the lead of Beatbarrow?
Oh, yes, but yeah, I was born in Zimbabwe, grew up in that field, went to Central High, primary, went through the usual upbringing as you would. Always had an interest in programming and computers. So when I came to the UK with a bit more access to these things, I started doing more. I did computers at high school at sixth form, so I did computer science sixth form, and then did computer science at university. So that then just got me into the field of computing. I currently work in Dynamics, it's like a Microsoft product and everything else. And Beatbarrow has just been, a project that I've always been interested in, especially the music. I'm a big fan of Zimbabwean music. Listened to it growing up. My dad always listening to Leonard Limbo during those long trips. Big fan of music, and so the project has always been more of something that's always in the back of mind. So I started the Beatbarrow years ago now. I started the website where I would be selling when I would go to Zimbabwe, buy CDs and then try to sell them online and everything. And then it's sort of just been evolving, I should say, since then, really. So from website to now the streaming apps we see now.
So for the people who are going to listen and they don't know Beatbarrow, I'll explain a bit. Then I think you can take over and truly explain what's going on. I came across Beatbarrow on Twitter. So it's a music platform for mostly Zimbabwean music, and it was very interesting because it was not something that we in Zimbabwe had that worked that well. And recently you released the Android that you can now listen on Android. You can download from the Play Store. So with a bit more information from you, can you tell us how the idea of Beatbarrow came to be, the thought process, how you, like you said, it was a dream project of yours. How did you then turn that dream into a reality?
So I think, yeah, as with anything that you dream about, it's time just about that action, right? It's just trying to start from somewhere. So I think, as I mentioned before, I started as a website. Obviously, so it's not just me, there's a few others that I would grab and try to get behind the project as well. So I've worked with different people over the years. And yeah, so we started as a website where, try to sell CDs, and so the idea just came about in terms of, rather than just dreaming about it, act on it. So it's sort of progressed from there, and it's now kind of got to the app stage it is now.
So in terms of music, we all know that music is a bit tricky business due to copyright and all of these things. Can you tell us how you're managing all that stuff of, you're trying to get always up to date with music? I saw that Oliten and Takura, I think, released the latest music and you're up to date, making sure that, I remember you're doing a promo or expect this album soon. How do you go through the situation of when new music is coming out? How do you, the league of, or maybe someone wants to then also make a system similar? How do you manage all the stuff?
So when I started the app, I had to get distributors to sign forms, acknowledgements that I'll be using their distribution service. So I used different ones. So I do have signed ways, signed copyright acknowledgement to say, Beatbarrow doesn't really have any ownership of this music. We are just there to be so just like any other streaming services where an artist can upload their music. We are sincerely just trying to be the same. So in terms of having the latest, I'm working with Panache, social media manager currently on the ground, and sort of like help on that front, trying to get the latest music, trying to run the social side of this project, trying to inform people what's coming up. So he obviously sometimes gets the latest album covers or pictures or even albums, and then share on my socials to promote the brand and hopefully keep going until a lot more people know about it.
I think Panache is doing a good job since I saw you guys through the social media channels. Then I think I would like to get more deeper in the situation as like you said, you're the lead of Beatbarrow. How is it, being the person in charge of the operations and making sure that things are going according to plan? I think leadership is a difficult role. It's not very easy. So can you tell us some of the challenges you were facing as you were building this, especially maybe started off by yourself? Of course, the team began to grow. What challenges were you facing and how did you manage to overcome those challenges?
I think as with anything, sometimes it's sort of like letting go of that control where perhaps, because it's your dream or, your project, you kind of want to perhaps do everything, but, with time you realize you can't do everything, and you're not skilled in everything either. So you always need a good team around you, people to help you out. So I think for me, I guess the only challenge is obviously trying to get people to, follow the same sort of like vision or dream that you have. It's always good when you work with people that you can depend on and who sort of like at least help you out when you are busy to do certain things, and who at least know the field that you are working with them for. So as the leader, you say, you start from scratch using my own skills. So my own skill is obviously on the development side, and so we started with the product, but the product needs, the business side, the product needs the marketing side, and everything else. So, I've sort of like, and even in the development areas, I don't obviously know everything myself. I obviously have skills in certain areas. Bring someone in who can, work on the web capable of, and then try to learn from them as well. So as a leader, it's always good to be always willing to, you should be always willing to be in learning mode. You don't know everything, so you always need to be able to learn from others. Make sure you are able to trust them to do what they need to.
I love the fact that you said that you knew to have a team around you, a strong team of people you are willing to trust, who have the skill set to do what is required of them. So on the aspect of the team, I would like you to give people maybe someone who is also on the same path as you. Maybe they want to build something in the stage where they need to build a team. What makes a good team? Can you tell us from your experience? Of course, choosing people to join something which is personal to you is always very difficult. Like you said, you ended up to learn to give control. So how do you choose a team you feel like these people, I can trust these people to take over? What do you look for when you're bringing on people on the project?
I think for me, it was mainly around finding people who are compatible to you in terms of your own character, maybe how you can at least communicate well with each other. So the times obviously, with the team, you, even though you have people who have the skill, maybe but the question is, can you actually work with that person? Can you communicate at the same level? Are you compatible that way? So I think for me, regardless of be the skill or regardless of how well that person might necessarily know a certain area, I think for me what's been important is to be able to at least have that soft, so as opposed to just the hard skill, that soft skill, at least for me, was also like quite important, but a soft skill that I myself can obviously work with as well. So, some people might have the soft skills, and some leaders might have different, hiring rules or certain type of people you work with. But I think for me, it's been a case of, can I at least connect with this person? Can I, at least, as you say, trust them? And obviously, trust is built over time. So it's in a time you just have to sort of like jump head in and then see whether you can work this person. And if you can't, then you also need to be able to be ruthless, I suppose, and let that person go and stop that sort of like business engagement that you'd have with them. But yeah, that's sort of like how I've managed to at least progress in that way, where you kind of look for similarities if you can, and just make sure you can at least work on the same level, you have the same mindset.
For those people who are gonna try and build a team, like you said, they have to be that connection, deeper than just a skill set that's there. Of course, you have to have the skills to do the job, but can we connect beyond those skills? Can we synchronize for the greater good? So we move back to Beatbarrow a bit more in your life. Can you tell us, where did the love of music come from? Beatbarrow is a music streaming app. Where did you find the love of music that you're like, wow, music is me. I love music. I want to build something for music, especially Zimbabwean music.
Yeah, I think for me, music was not just something that I grew up with, was drilled into me, I think, whether intentionally or not, through parents, cousins, friends, and everything else. I think as I mentioned before, I think we used to take trips with my parents, and just be listening to music all the way, just enjoying it, and my dad used to have these long play, vinyl sort of like covers like in the house, like loads of boxes of it, where it did come to the UK like way back in the 80s, but then came back. So I think the love for music kind of came from there, where you'd have these vinyls in the house, play different types of music, to be fair, all golden oldies, reggae, country music, and everything in between. But I think, for the music bits, I think it was just that aspect of growing up listening to it and just enjoying it, enjoying the vibe it kind of brings, the fun it brings at parties, and just people how people enjoy, especially the Sungura genre, and just the love that it kind of has and brings people together. So I think for me, then the project kind of came about because at the time, obviously, there wasn't always access to Zimbabwean music. I mean, that sort of like improved over the years, no doubt. But yeah, when I started the idea, obviously wasn't as much access to Zimbabwean music. Every time I come to Zimbabwe, or back then, I would have to buy the CDs and then come back with it. My very first, I think I bought my first cassette. I think when I was about 13 or something, I bought Simon Chibetu Lullaby CD. I can't remember. So, but yeah, over the years, it's just been that interest in the music, making it accessible, making it accessible to everyone, so that they can at least know some of the talent that's out there, enjoy the music as much as I do. But yeah, I think the love for it just came from growing up in that environment, growing up listening to different types of music. And I think my own character, I enjoy music anyway. As we always try to, on social media, we always have, music is life, and it's with you in the good and bad times and everything else. The lyrics you can listen to, the beats you can listen to, the joy kind of brings. So I think it was easy to then, whatever projects then I'll kind of do, to kind of look into that music arena. It's good to be able to be now at this point where I can start pushing this product or this project around, knowing that other people can actually have access to some of the great artists that we have in Zimbabwe.
Growing up with music, especially with parents, when you're going on those long journeys, maybe traveling around Zimbabwe, then your father is popping some old songs. For me, I'm really a young person with the 2000 babies, so your father is popping Thomas Mafumo there, and you're like, what type of music is this? Especially at a young age, you're just wondering what's going on. And the one thing I love about music so much, especially if it's music which is so personal to someone who is they'll play it over again, then the more they play it, the more you begin to truly understand why someone likes the song. And like people say, music has a story to tell. And usually the person who's listening to the music, sometimes they use music to tell their own stories. Like you're going maybe a similar situation with the artist, and that song brings out something of you. So like I said, growing up there, Thomas Mapumo, to this day, I now actually enjoy it. I actually got off my way to look for his music. Every time maybe I get a new phone or something, it's like, oh, I need to download a couple of these songs and keep them in my phone. And it's something that is built. So for me now, I look at you, raised in Zimbabwe. Growing up, you moved to the UK. Zimbabwean music maybe hard to access now. It's no more as common, especially, our Zimbabweans, in terms of their music releases, it's not always put online for people to access. How did that make you feel in that period where maybe you're not always up to date with the latest Zimbabwean music there, and maybe you find your classics, your classics are on cassettes, CDs, and maybe you don't have all of those things, and now you're there and you cannot access those things. What did that do to you in that period of time before maybe you're not easily able to access all this music?
Yeah, obviously, yeah, that sort of like drove, as they say, sometimes you make something out of necessity, right? So I think for me, yeah, it was that period obviously kind of drove some of that frustration. I think, as I mentioned, like, yeah, when I came over most of the time, and when people would, I don't know, whoever was kind of going to Zimbabwe asking me what I should bring, my list was always, CDs for this artist and cassettes for this artist. Not the usual sort of like request that you get from when coming from Zimbabwe. People normally want food and everything else, but for me, I think, yeah, it was just the music that I'll be requesting. Can I get this latest CD? Can I get this latest song? But I think, yeah, that period was obviously we obviously sort of like guided some of that dream, maybe, where because obviously you have a skill, or you just want to do something about it just for your own usage. You know what I mean? You're like, what can I do to make this easier, even for myself, to get access to some of this music, even for myself. So I think that some of that frustration kind of helped or pushed along the dream, I can say. So as I say, obviously, Beatbarrow kind of started ages ago in a different format, I should say. So I think that, yeah, that period was good, I suppose, in a way, where obviously just increased that hunger to make Zimbabwean music more accessible. That said, obviously now, you have lots more artists who are, obviously, upload to all these other music channels, YouTube, Spotify, and everything else, which is good. So we can at least get access to that. But that hasn't stopped my own passion for that, my own passion for this platform, my own sort of like passion to build it, I suppose, and make it even more easier to have something for artists to upload to as just an additional channel, and hopefully, they can also monetize it. That's the hope. That's the dream, anyway. As much as these artists all these other channels are there, with the hope that they can have this platform that they can control a bit better, so that they can get all the sort of like be it the money that they fully deserve, because obviously they are creating good music, and they deserve all the accolades that they get in any shape or form. And I'm just doing my bit to really try and push it more, try to showcase it more to different people, and be it through the advertising and everything else. But yeah, to answer your question, at that period, obviously, and guided some of that passion that's there now.
I would like to say thank you. That's the first thing I'd like to say for creating this platform, because of course, like you said, people are posting to YouTube, they're posting to Spotify and all these other platforms. But what makes Beatbarrow special to me, or I think to other people who are similar to me, is the fact that the music there, it's purely Zimbabwean. So it's that moment where you just want to listen to Zimbabwean music and just want to hear what's out there. There's not that moment maybe on YouTube there you're hearing your latest Zimbabwean songs, then you get into American music, next thing you're in French music and on and on. You're always trying to find the right playlist, but here you can just press play and just sink into that natural music, that Zimbabwe music, and you see the endless talent that is Zimbabwe. So, like I said, I would really like to say thank you for what you created. I believe people who are out there can be in touch with their homeland through music, as you said before.
Now, yeah, that's the hope anyway. We can as just the channel to have people to, if whenever you feel like you want that fully Zimbabwean playlist, and you don't necessarily want to watch the videos of it, you can just have Beatbarrow there playing, and you can then explore different artists that you might not have known or even discovered before. So that's the hope, that you can showcase some of the talent that's not always maybe mainstream or maybe not always known by others. So yeah, you say thank you, but yeah, it's I'm not sure I've done enough just yet. But yeah, the hope is to keep on pushing, and the hope is obviously people get to know about it and get to at least be patient with the product as we build on it, because it's still in its infancy. But we hope people get to know about it, give us feedback, use it, and hopefully artists will hopefully trust us as well, because I guess that's the other hurdle we have to kind of jump. Obviously artists will always be perhaps weary of, or artists and users, anyone really. Change is always difficult to kind of for certain people, for everyone really. So we are hoping artists and the users at large can at least hopefully trust the product, trust the process as well, that they can download it, use it, and the artist can actually upload their music there. So just so as soon as they upload to YouTube, we're hoping that they're happy to upload it to Beatbarrow as well, and that we all sort of like grow with the platform. I'm growing with the platform as a user, as I'm sort of like one of the head developers on it. But yeah, the hope is to keep pushing on it.
So, Tatenda, we've been talking about music, but I know people out there would like to know your type of music, your taste of music. Can you just give us a couple of your favorite artists at the moment, both old and new?
Yeah, so I mean, for my favorite artist, I think just purely from growing up with it, obviously I listen to a lot of Nina Dembo myself, so the legend in my book. So all the sort of like Thomas Pumo and Simon Chimbetu and all those legends, if you like, kings that you used to grow up with, or listen to all of those. And obviously, in terms of current, my music, the thing with because I'm into this project. As you can see, I listen to every kind of music and every type, so I enjoy. I'm not in one camp, so I'll listen to Winky D and John Fraser and Bulletin. And so I'll listen to anyone who JT, old JT. I enjoy music. So as long as the music is good, as long as I can resonate to it, and I can dance to it as well, or put it on full blast. It doesn't matter the type per se or the genre even. I just enjoying. I was listening to when you saw as well just before, when I was in the car early on. I think that's
Those are many artists, like you said, since of the project, you have to be always up to date. So as long as it's good music, everyone agrees. As long as it's good music, whoever is singing it, it's always gonna be good music. So what can we expect in the near future from Beatbarrow? Like you said, there are so many hurdles ahead of you. You're planning to solve them. So what are some new, maybe a sneak peek into some new updates that might come around the corner?
So the updates, I think, we're just changing the minutes. We're updating the iOS app. We got some feedback, quite a lot of feedback about the home screen. So the Android one is already updated to the new sort of like layouts. So we are sort of like working on the iOS side of things. We need to optimize tablet version of the Android version. So I mean, it works on the tablet, but it's not all smooth optimized for it just yet. There's a few more design changes that need to go on the app. Those are to be gradual. Some of the main changes, obviously, need to get the dashboard sort of like now public. I think it's sort of like being worked on over the months in parallel to the Android version. But we need the dashboard for artists mainly now to go live in the next couple of months. So that will allow them to at least upload their own music. It will allow them to see, the streams that they get and where they're getting them from. And also mainly, a few months obviously into that, we need to then start trialing out the payment options within the app. So we're hoping to, add that so that, users can at least appreciate the artist through, subscribing to their music in some way, shape, or form. So those are sort of like things in the pipeline. As with any project, as with any technical aspect, some might be quicker than others, some might take longer. I hope, just to keep on updating, keep on refreshing, be it the apps or the website, and obviously keep on advertising. So we're hoping to ramp up the marketing side as well soon enough once we sort of like finished a few more updates on the apps, and obviously start having those deeper discussions with artists in terms of what do we need to do for them to trust us to have their music just as quickly as they have it on the other platforms and everything else. So that's all we get to come. Hopefully, we'll get there eventually.
Thank you, Tatenda. So our last question of the podcast is going to be, what advice can you give someone who's got a dream and they want to realize it? What advice can you give those people who feel like they're being limited by what's happening around them? What do you do to overcome those? What advice can you give those people?
I guess, well, I suppose from my own perspective, I just say, it's easy to, well, I mean, it's good to dream, but it's even better to execute, so obviously I know sort of like illusion, obviously, that it's easier for some of us, or for those who have access to some of the tools. Obviously, I'm based in abroad, so access to certain tools, and be it cheaper internet and cheaper software and everything else, cheaper hardware. But so it's easy for me to say just execute or just keep going. But on some level as well, that's almost what you need to do. It might take longer than someone else. You might need more time to learn like a new tool. I have access to certain things versus someone else. But for me personally, anyway, just dreaming and just saying words doesn't mean much. Everything is in the action. Everything is in the doing. So it's a case of if you have that dream, just start from somewhere. It's a bit like the usual memes we see, or the usual sort of like words that you get from motivational speakers. They are, first step. You need the first step and everything else. But for me, that's what it is. And that's, for me, that's very true in the sense of, you just need to take that first step. You just need to, do what you feel like doing. So if it's a passion, you need to get to that point where you stop talking about it, stop dreaming about it, and actually take the first step. The second step might come, 6 months later, but that's still movement. You need to keep moving. You just don't want to be in the same place that you were, 6 months ago. So it's just an aspect of, just make the first move and then go from there.
Thank you, Tatenda, for those wise words. A lot of people have heard the most important thing is, instead of just dreaming, just start on the journey. The first step is all that matters. When the second step comes, it will come. So I'm just going to give you a slot just to promo Beatbarrow, where they can find it, the social medias, and maybe your personal account if they want to connect.
Yeah, thank you. So thank you to the listeners. So Beatbarrow is the music streaming app. We focusing on Zimbabwean music. So you can find it on the Play Store and for Google and App Store for iOS. There's also the website beatbarrow.com, where you can stream your favorites, the latest Zimbabwean music from there. All the good tunes. Android or iPhone, or you can just use the website. And for the social, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So I think on Twitter, if you just search for Beatbarrow, as well as on Facebook, I think you find them. I think on Instagram it's Beatbarrow _. So you should find us easily that way. And I hope you can follow us. Hope you can come along with us on the journey. Hope you can use the app, and hope you can give as much feedback as you can, and share the music joy and share the enjoyment of music with everyone.
Thank you, Tatenda, for being on the podcast. It was lovely having you.
Thank you very much.